and Devin Connolly.
Rodney.
And Rodney, excuse me, and Rodney. If you guys want to come sit up here, you want to sit there, or?
How are you? Good. We had a airport meeting, and so wanted to share some information with you. Hope that was, I just threw it to you.
That's fine, I caught it. We're good.
Okay, I guess we'll start in with kind of just a highlight of what the meeting was about anyway. The NDB is, I think, officially closed now. There was just the next day after the meeting, there was a letter came from the FAA, so the NDB is officially closed, which isn't actually needed anymore. And it'll save repair expense and whatever else would be needed there. Second item is the courtesy car. We talked about the courtesy car is getting in pretty tough shape. I mean, as far as maybe mechanical, it's okay. It looks pretty shabby. Or, you know, what you have a doctor flies in a whatever high-dollar airplane, and he climbs in a $10 car that barely makes it, you know. I mean, we kind of want to be have a reliable unit that's there. So we talked about that, and nothing was firmly decided. It's just to look for a vehicle to see what's available, and then talk about dollars and see if we can afford it in the budget. The next item was that we're having a terrible time. We don't, you know, there were supposed to be 7 people on the board, and let's see, I think we're 2 short now, 2 guys short now, and we can't seem to come up with names that are interested. We wanted to see if the commissioners could reduce the amount of board members from 7 to 5. I don't know.
I
We're
talked with
working on
Leslie
that.
about it.
Okay.
Scott has provided me some information. I apologize. It's just been a little crazy. But
Sure.
statute does provide that it can be a 5-member board. I just need to look at what was done.
Okay.
And then we'll get that fixed.
That'd be great. That would help us out, and I know that it is just hard to get people to come to a meeting. I don't know what the deal is, but we did have a quorum there at this meeting, and so everything was voted on, was official, I guess you might say. Of course, then we get to the 5-year plan, which is actually a 20-year plan, or when we vote on items to put on that plan, you know, it's a long-lasting thing. So this year, and this has been on the plan for a number of years, 5 or 6 years, is snow removal equipment. So this is the year that we are able to purchase snow removal equipment, and we did vote on it to go ahead and submit bids for snow removal equipment. And so that's one thing we'll need to, you know, talk to you guys about and get approval to carry on with that. The snow removal equipment is really not exact on what you're going to get. You could get a truck, you could get a tractor, you could get whatever, but it's kind of how the specs are written up. So we ask Olson's to write the specs so that they be done correctly, and then advertised. And so we're looking at about a $300,000, and this is unknown till you get the bids, but it's about a $300,000 unit, which would be, let's just say it would be a tractor with a loader and a attachment. And that would be, have to be, you know, submitted and get the bids in on it. Be 90-10, be 10% local, so be about a $30,000, say, if it is a tractor and a loader and an attachment, so. At this time, that's all, has to be US built. But they did make an exception on one unit that was, I think it was 62%. They can prove on how much of a unit is made in the US. And on that particular unit was 62%, and they did accept it. So, which is highly unusual. Because the larger units are US built, but we don't need anything, that's 325 horse. We don't need that big of a unit,
Yeah.
so.
And this will help free up the county tractor that they leave up at the airport for us. So they should have all their tractors to use themselves.
And you sure can't buy a tractor for 30,000, even though it's not costing 30,000, but the government is providing the rest of the money, which is still us. Can we have you guys give us an okay on proceeding with that? There is funds, the capital improvement fund at this point in time has $167,653 in it. So we did check into it that we've got the funds available for that.
Personally, I'd be in favor of you guys starting to look into it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We'll go ahead and have Diane, carry on with writing the bid specs and so on and see where it goes. Then we'll get back with you if they, when the bids come out, we'll get back with you and let you know what it is, so.
That's probably not for several months, right? Isn't that probably spring?
Yeah, that'll probably be spring.
Yeah.
And we've got several items for this spring for you, so anyway. Concrete maintenance, it's gotta be 10 years before that they will, purchase, on the 90-10, before they'll allow us to do maintenance on the runway. And next year is the 10th year for the north end of the runway.
Is that the one that has a crack that raises during the winter?
Yeah, I guess it is on the north end, but we addressed that last year, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was
it
on the
was-
south end. No,
No, that's on the north
no, that's on the north end, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the south end is what we're needing to maintain.
yeah, I think it's the south end that
Yeah.
we're maintaining. But yeah, we addressed that or I guess 2 years ago. Was it last
Okay.
year? 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I remember talking about it
Because we
when I was,
closed it.
when I was on the board.
Last year for a while there.
Right.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
It's when they
Might have been
repaired
2
those
years ago.
cracks.
I think it's 2 years
they-
ago in November.
Because we talked
Yeah.
about it at the airport meeting, and I think it was in my transition, so, okay, just,
Yeah.
Yeah, so they sawed out the old sealer and put new in this year. See, the spring. Or was that last year?
Well, they repainted last summer, like not this past summer, but the summer before that, during spray season, remember? And then that was because they didn't finish up painting before it froze, so it was 2 years ago.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right. So that's a coming up maintenance item that we'll need to proceed to do, and that will be on the 5-year plan, the 90-10 program too, for that maintenance.
I think everybody's kind of the opinion, we
Did you
probably
bring
shouldn't
a
kick
copy
that
of
can
that?
down the road.
Did you bring a copy
I'm
of
sorry,
that for the
Devin, what's that?
I
commission?
think everybody is of
Of
the
what's
opinion
that?
that we probably
The old
should kick that can
printout?
down the road. 'Cause I think
I
Get
don't know
more
which one you
expensive
mean.
as it goes
You
on.
mean the 5-year plan, you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
that we had at the last, yeah,
yeah, right here.
yes.
Yeah, but it's not current because they haven't added the terminal billing onto that, so.
Okay. But that's easy for the commissioners to see how we're progressing too. A copy of that, maybe at the next meeting.
Okay,
We can provide one with with that.
Okay,
And then they can read our minutes and see that, see where we're going ahead and what we're programming to utilize the funds out of the airport, multi-use fund there.
right. Yeah, because on that, there's, at this point in time, snow removal equipment, and then there's crack seal and repair.
Right,
After that is runway end approach lighting, pappies and rails, they call them.
right.
And then, so then the next item we added was a terminal building.
Yeah.
So that is actually the next thing we need to talk about.
How old did we decide the AWAS was? I think 2006 or something
I
like that.
think so.
Because the last time I flew in, I couldn't get it to come on the radio, and
Oh, really?
I think it was the plane though, because
Oh,
I'd
okay.
had some troubles with it.
Yeah, I never had any issues in the air. There's kind of some funky things, and then it's harder to get parts. Is the
Mhm.
so yeah, we kept that in line where it is the crack seal. So we were always planning on doing that.
Right,
Yeah,
for next year.
yeah.
So then, the one thing we did add to the 5-year plan was a terminal building. So, the government's got a lot of grant money out there right now. I don't know whether they got enough, they're trying to get rid of it or whatever, I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, there's 2 different programs, and the one is, they call it a BIL, and I called Diane this morning to try to get her to re-explain this to me from the meeting, and it's kind of hard to understand what they've got, but anyway, we've got it on our plan for 2025, which would be a 90-10 from the government.
Yeah.
There's another program out there that is also BIL, and it is a
95.
it's a 95-5, and it's the bipartisan infrastructure law. And this is for airport terminals and airport tower projects. Of course, we don't have a tower, don't need a tower. And that's
Got you. I got the right number.
done right there, okay.
Okay.
So, and what that is 95.5, and that would be available this next year. So there was a deadline to get that submitted by the,
I think it's like 24th. So,
right,
and we did get that submitted.
right. So we submitted for that. So, the bad part of it is, it would be a very expensive building.
Yeah, but if you got the 95.5, you'd be looking at 50,000 instead of 100,000
Yeah.
for $1 million building.
Right.
I see. Okay.
So Diane brought that up, and it was just a few days before the deadline that we had our meeting, so we decided to go ahead and apply for that. It's kind of a long shot, but there have been airports that are smaller that have gotten it before.
So if you get the BILATP, and you also get the FAA, you can't have them both, I would assume.
No.
Okay.
No.
But-
And then what we'll do, the 5-year plan terminal building, we'll just let it drop off.
Okay.
And not proceed with that because we won't need it. But the reason we put that on there and applied for, put it on the plan for the 5-year and applied for the other one, there's a slim chance that we'll get the 95.5 one.
But we said, why not?
Yeah, try.
Went ahead and did it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It was worth a try.
So I don't know when we hear, that we won't hear back from that for quite some time, I don't think. But,
So you gotta explain to me what's gonna be in this terminal building?
It's going to be a place for pilots to get inside and also bathrooms in it. There's no bathrooms at the airport. There's no place to get out. It's like Eagle Med, if they fly in the wintertime, they can't leave the airport, and there's no place for them to get inside to stay warm. There's no place to go to the bathroom. It's a really unhandy thing. It really is.
Yeah, and I haven't been to too many other airports where they didn't have some sort of public use
Would have
building.
like
It's pretty unusual.
like a little office where you guys could meet in or anything?
It says it can't have meeting rooms if it's a BLATP deal.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, not specific, can't be specified as a meeting room.
okay, but I got you,
It'd
okay.
be open to public access
Okay.
24/7.
It's like a lounge, like what Goodland has?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and it wouldn't be a big building, it'd be like basically 1,000 square foot building, so.
So 100
and-
by 100, well, yeah, no,
So
okay.
it's expensive because you gotta meet all the government requirements of how it's built and all the paperwork, and so per square foot, it's kind of absurd that there's no other source of funding for where you don't have to meet those requirements. And we talked about, state of Kansas and DOT, funding it, but Diane said they've never funded a project like that,
Right.
so we're
Yeah.
not gonna go down that path, but that would have been the easier funding.
Well, I guess I'm sitting here as a commissioner, just another building we gotta insure. It's a building we gotta clean. You're gonna have to hire somebody to do the bathrooms.
Heat it.
Yeah,
Right.
but just think of the premium on the insurance because it's gonna be $1 million building. The replacement cost.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you would be on the hook. Do you have to insure it for that amount, do you
Most
think?
insurance companies make you.
Yeah,
Because it's not like it would appraise for that, I mean, it's.
right.
I mean, I understand. It just bothers me when has anybody talked to Grace's? What are they gonna do with their building? I mean, that thing's got bathrooms, it's got,
Yeah, it's just not open, I mean,
no,
Yeah,
but
because I mean, when I'm there, I mean, there's been times where I probably let 15 to 20 people use my bathroom in a day.
yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I said,
Yeah. Well, here's my thoughts on it. If you can get this building built for 50,000 and Grace's old building, if they wanted 80,000 for it, which is a better deal?
80,000.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, insurance is just, I'm just looking at the cost of this and the replacement cost and insurance and. It's a lot.
I'd like to do an executive session for 10 minutes for non-elected personnel.
Second.
Second, sorry.
Okay, been first and second, 10 minutes of executive session for non-elected personnel.
No, I
All
want
in
you to
favor?
stay here.
Stay here,
Okay.
okay.
All in favor?
Aye. Sorry.
Aye. Okay.
Rodney.
Sit down.
Oh.
Sorry.